Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to In the Kitchen at Go Native Farms. I am Eric, the RD. That stands for Registered Dietitian. I'm also a renal dietitian, and this evening I'm going to be showing you guys some ideas on what you can do with a whole chicken and how you can make a lot of different meals out of it. So the first thing you want to do with this chicken is you want to soak it in water for about 10 minutes, and then you want to drain it. Don't forget to look at the internal cavity of the chicken because there's often contents in there like the liver and the gizzard and the heart. So you can soak all those and drain all that into the sink, and then we're going to go ahead and make all sorts of good meals out of this, and we're going to make a lot of soups and broths out of this as well. Everything's going to be high protein and good for dialysis patients and the rest of the family. So we'll see you at the Instapot in right about 10 minutes. Okay, so we are all now set up and at the Instapot, and the first thing you want to do is read the directions so you know how to use it properly and that you won't hurt yourself using it. All right, so what do we have here? So we have a lot of different spices, and I always like to put a lot of these no salt seasoning in there, and it's going to be depending on your taste and what you like. I put a couple of tablespoons in mine. Now, some of my patients can have salt and some cannot. It really depends on how closely you're following your diet on a regular basis. So I do allow some of my patients to put about a half teaspoon to a teaspoon in a big pot that they're cooking of broth or a big meal. And once again, it really depends on how you're following your diet, and you want to follow up with your clinic dietitian to know how much salt you could or should not put into your meal. And at this point, I'm going to be using some powdered onion, and then later we're going to be putting in some fresh onion. So it's kind of to taste. I don't really measure exactly, but I'm going to be putting in about a teaspoon of garlic at this point. And then I'm also going to take some onion as well. And I actually said that backwards. That's the garlic. The first one was the onion. And I'm going to do about the same amount as well. And as you can see, my chicken is in there and it is covered completely. Now you want to make sure you don't go over the max level, but you do want to cover the chicken. So these are some basic spices that I like to use. And you don't have to follow this exactly, but this is going to make a pretty good broth and a pretty good tasting chicken. And we're just going to go ahead and we're going to go to the slow cook, because I'm going to do a slow cook on this guy. And I'm going to try this one for 8 hours overnight while we sleep. And that is at 8 hours. And then it's going to start on its own. And you always want to make sure you have the lid on tightly and secure. Sometimes that can be a little challenging, but we do have that on. And there we go. So we're going to be following up in about 8 hours. And we're going to have a pretty good chicken in there. The broth's going to be excellent. You're going to be able to eat it like that, but we are going to check in 8 hours just to make sure everything cooked properly. So thank you guys for tuning in, and we're going to see you in about 8 hours. All right, everybody, we are back at the Instapot and the chicken is done. So with no further ado, let's take a look at this chicken. And if you like my videos, please do like and subscribe. So there's the chicken, and it didn't even take 8 hours. So I came and I checked the chicken's temperature when it was about 6 hours. And at 6 hours, the chicken was already at 175 degrees internal temperature. So this was cooked and ready to go. So let's see, with no further ado, let's pull this guy out of there. And I did let it cool down a little bit so it's manageable. And we're just gonna get in there, try and pick up this bad boy. And it's so well done. Look at that. The legs fell right off. And so did one of the wings. And so did the other wings. So this is super tender right there. Check that out. Ready to go. Looks great, smells great. I haven't tasted it yet. We're gonna put it down over here. All right. And what are we gonna do? I think we're just gonna show you guys a really simple, quick meal that is already almost ready to go. We're going to slide this over here like that, and I'm just going to show you what a simple dialysis dinner can look like. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to put that down right there. So we do have a little bit of rice, And then a lot of people like the drumsticks, so we're gonna go ahead and put a couple of those drumsticks on there. Let's turn that over so it looks a little bit better. I can already tell these are super tender and ready to go. And we got a little bit of that. And then if you like wings, there's not too much meat on a wing, but that's looking good already. And what are we gonna do? I think we need to add a little bit more meat to that because that's not quite 4 ounces. So what I would like for you guys to do is to have a piece of meat that's the size and the thickness of the palm of your hand. And I don't think that's quite making it right there. Those drumsticks are a little bit small. So we're gonna come over here to the chicken and we're going to pull off a little bit of this breast meat just like that. And we're gonna cut that off and take a look at that. Nice and cooked on the inside, and get you guys a little more meat right there. And I think one more piece because we want to make sure we get that albumin up. We're always talking about albumin, and the chicken's going to help us to get that up. Okay, so what else do we have left here? Well, it wouldn't be a complete meal without some low potassium vegetables. So we're going to get some vegetables on there, and it says that about 2/3 of a cup of these vegetables are going to be 169 milligrams of potassium. We're going to put that back, and we're just going to show you what we're eating here. We got these ones at Costco, and right on the back it tells you about the potassium on there, so you guys can look up that potassium. And this one is 169.4%. So that's acceptable for a dialysis meal. And what else is going to go nice with this meal? I think we're going to go ahead and give you guys a fruit. So there's a nice fruit. You can have a pear or an apple. You can have some grapes with this meal. You could have blueberries. It's your choice. Or you can have a half an apple and maybe half a cup of blueberries, whatever you'd like. And let's say you don't want rice for your starch. So not a problem. You can go ahead and substitute that rice out with a nice piece of bread instead. So this is a well-balanced meal, and we do have a lot of flavor on there. We put spices in there, and we put garlic and onion and our no salt seasoning, and that is a pretty decent meal right there that you can have on dialysis. Everybody in the family can have this meal as well. It's high in protein. And if you want a little more protein, go ahead and grab a little bit more, and no problem with that at all. I think we're going to put this to the side for a minute, and then we're going to show you guys something else. So what I'm going to be doing with this chicken is I'm going to be showing you guys how to make a lot of different meals. And because you have leftovers, as long as you keep those in the refrigerator, you got some leftovers for tomorrow. And this is a really good bread that I have found. I found this one online, but you could find this in a lot of the different health food stores, or you could ask for it. It's Rootis Organic, and on the back you can read the ingredients, and this has 0 potassium on there. So, and the calcium's low as well. It's a really good bread, and what can you do with this bread? So you can take this bread and you can make yourself a nice sandwich for the following day. So what are we going to start with? This chicken breast, or any part of the meat that you like, but we're going to come back to the chicken, and we're going to cut ourselves about 4 ounces of meat that we're going to put on that sandwich. And you're just going to cut that up nice and easy. It's very tender. I haven't even tried this, but let me try a piece while we're talking here. And very soft, very tender, and I do taste the spices in there. So for your following lunch, you can easily make yourself a sandwich, and you can grab yourself a little bit of this mustard, because there's almost no potassium in there, and everybody likes mustard, at least I do. And then a lot of people like it. A lot of people like mayo. So if you want to have some mayo on that sandwich as well, you certainly can. You can grab yourself a tablespoon of that mayonnaise, and you can put that on, and your sandwich is almost prepared. Now, this wouldn't be a complete sandwich if you didn't put some veggies on there as well. So you guys can put some lettuce on here. You could put a little bit of onion on there as well. And you know what? I also let a lot of my patients have thin slices of tomato on there because tomato is high in potassium, but not if you're only having a couple thin slices. So if you want to have a little bit of tomato on your sandwich, you can, but make sure that you've already been having some pretty good potassium labs. If your potassium was really high, then you probably want to stay away from any potassium foods, and tomato does have high potassium in it, but a couple little slices shouldn't be a problem for most people, as long as you're not eating the whole tomato. So that is the sandwich right there. I didn't put on the vegetables, but I think you guys know how to do that. And I want you guys to stay tuned because we're going to be making a whole lot more high protein meals out of this chicken. And we're also going to be using this broth, and we're going to be taking these bones and we're going to be making a really good bone broth as well. And then we're going to make a good soup out of that. So it's going to be a chicken vegetable soup, and I think you guys are really going to like that. And then I have a few other ideas what we're going to do with this meal to make a lot of high protein meals. So that's pretty much it for today. Please do like and subscribe and share my videos, and hopefully this did help you guys in preparing a meal. And of course, I want to do one more reminder. Remember to take your binders. You need your binders with all of your meals, even if some of the foods are lower in potassium and phosphorus, we should say, but you need to take your phosphorus binders, and if you're on a potassium binder, take those as well. And of course, whenever you're preparing a meal, the most important thing you can always focus on is having fresh, natural foods that are not processed. So you want to limit those processed food, the fast food, the boxed food, the TV dinner type things. You want to eliminate those as much as possible. When you're cooking fresh meals like this, you should not have a problem with potassium or phosphorus. And once again, you always want to follow up with your own clinical dietitian, because I'm making these videos mostly for my patients, and every dialysis patient does have individual and specific requirements and needs. And your dietitian is going to look at your labs and they're going to make recommendations for you. Hopefully this does help with preparing some meals and teach you a few things that maybe you didn't know and give you some good ideas. We have a whole lot more coming up in the future, so please stay tuned, and thank you once again for tuning in, and have a great rest of the day.